Part 2: Separation and Success. Life didn't explode after that day. It didn't collapse. It simply moved on. Graduation came quietly, no dramatic confrontations, no apologies, no closure, just distance. The last time Vance saw Adrian Wolfe, he didn't look at her. Not once. That hurt more than everything else. The split. They left New York like two storms, moving in opposite directions. Elena chose Milan. Adrian chose London. Two cities built on power, history, and ambition. Perfect for people like them. Elena Vance, Milan. Milan didn't welcome her. It tested her. The Architecture Institute was brutal. Creative minds from across the world. Ideas clashing. Egos colliding. For the first time in years, Elena wasn't the best, and she hated it. Her first design critique was a disaster. A senior professor stared at her work for a long moment before saying, "This isn't innovation. This is imitation disguised as confidence." The room didn't react, but Elena felt it. For a split second, she was back in that auditorium, hearing the same silence, feeling the same crack inside her. That night, she didn't sleep. She tore apart her designs, redrew everything, again and again and again, because losing once was an accident, but losing twice, unacceptable. Weeks turned into months. Months into years. She stopped trying to impress people, stopped trying to prove she was better. She became better. Her designs changed. They weren't just beautiful anymore. They were unpredictable, adaptive, ruthless. Structures that didn't just stand, they survived. By her final year, professors didn't criticize her work anymore. They studied it, and when she graduated, she didn't just leave with a degree. She left with a reputation. Within 3 years, Elena Vance built her own firm. Small at first, then unstoppable. Luxury architects wanted her vision. Global firms wanted her designs. Investors trusted her instinct. She didn't chase success, she controlled it. But every now and then, late at night, when the city went quiet, her mind would drift back to him, to that sentence. If you couldn't protect it. She didn't just remember it. She built her entire career proving it wrong. Adrian Wolfe, London. London didn't challenge Adrian. It recognized him. While others studied, he built. Internships turned into partnerships. Connections turned into control. He didn't care about degrees. He cared about power. The construction industry was ruthless. Contracts, delays, failures. People lost millions overnight. Adrian didn't. Because he didn't play fair. He played smart. He studied supply chains like warfare. Every move calculated. Every risk measured. While others built buildings, Adrian built control over what built them. Steel, concrete, logistics, distribution. He positioned himself where nobody looked. Behind everything. Within 5 years, he wasn't part of the industry anymore. He owned pieces of it, but success didn't erase her. Companies depended on him. Projects waited for him. People feared crossing him, because if Adrian Wolfe controlled your supply, he controlled your future. He still remembered everything. Her voice, her stare, the way she stood in front of him, unshaken, even while breaking apart, inside. And most of all, that moment, he never admitted it, not to anyone. But he had seen her designs before that competition. Not completely, just enough. And instead of ignoring them, he used them, improved them, turned them into something stronger, not to steal, but to win. And for the first time in his life, winning felt wrong. Years passed, relentless, unforgiving. New cities, new people, new empires, but some things never change. Neither of them ever truly moved on. Not because they couldn't love someone else, but because nobody ever felt enough. Every person felt forgettable. Every connection felt temporary, because somewhere deep down, without admitting it, they had already met their equal, and nothing else compared. By their late 20s, they had everything. Power, money, influence, respect. Elena Vance, a global name in architecture. Adrian Wolfe, the silent force behind billion-dollar industries. Untouchable, unreachable, unstoppable, and yet still incomplete, because no matter how far they went, they were still trapped in that auditorium, still frozen in that moment. One sentence, one look, one unfinished war. They never spoke again, never met again, never crossed paths, but something remained, an invisible thread, built from rivalry, respect, and something far more dangerous, something neither of them wanted to name, because naming it would make it real, and they weren't ready for that, not yet. But life has a cruel way of bringing unfinished stories back together. And no matter how far two people run, if their story isn't over, it always finds its way back. And soon, very soon, Adrian Wolfe and Elena Vance were going to meet again. Not as students, not as rivals, but as something far more dangerous. Equals.